ready to hear for another example of things that we've done with cardboard at different COP member locations. So Tony from MOSI down in Tampa is going to show us some things that he's done called Mystery Box. So Tony, take it away.
Hello from beautiful sunny Tampa. Our mystery boxes is based on the idea of using, we were originally making game controllers with Makey-Makeys. So, and this is an example of a Makey-Makey. And what's great about this type of technology is it basically allows you to turn anything that's conductive, so bananas, pickles, whatever, into a game controller. So we were doing that as an activity that was very exciting. And so I had the idea that rather than making a one-dimensional game controller, that we could actually create a four-sided game controller. So what we did was we created what's known as a mystery box. So the idea in this case, we have this box that's right here. We cut it out, we put some plastic in so fingers wouldn't get stuck, and we made this four-sided giant box. Because the idea was that obviously we could have kids make smaller projects. We would have wanted something that they could actually create as far as an exhibit. So we have the 4 seasons, and what we would actually put on the inside is the exciting part. We're putting inside using power switches. So if you can see, I'm going to move the camera very nice and slowly. So as you can see, we took 4 Makey-Makeys and 4 power switches, and they're hooked up in a way that we can create lights that turn on, and we could then have it so that when it's inside the box, we could have it change colors and have, for example, mixing colors. So if you were going to do a box that showed how you could combine colors as far as mixing colors or something like that, you could create that inside this mixing box, inside the box. So some of the things that we use as far as Makey-Makey with the box is that this leaf is painted with conductive paint. So I can hook it here to my alligator clip, and basically in this case, rather than connect it to a light, I have it connected to a fan that's right here. So when I activate my Makey-Makey, which is connected to my power switch, which you can get for about $30 from Amazon, I can then touch the leaf. Here's my leaf, and touch my ground, and it turns on the fan, and then we have flying balloons. So we made some flying balloons, but you can connect it to a motor. You can connect it to a variety of different sorts of things. Now, this is neat as far as being able to create something interactive. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can use a Makey-Makey plus a computer that's programmed in Scratch to create this sort of interactive game controller that a large group can play. So now we're gonna take a walk through Idea Zone.
And that's the noise that we were hearing, I guess. All these.
That's the noise of our guests here in the museum. So, if you're at home, you can wave hi to the guests. Guests can see you. And so what we have here is one of the other mystery boxes. And it's kind of hard to see it. Maybe I'll drive around the box. But basically, we have the 4 sides of the box. We have STEM. So we have right here, we have engineering. Now, the way that we work in this particular case, we have tape that goes around the table using conductive tape. And, it was a real fun process of prototyping this process. And then we have the various elements. Like in this case, we have moving gears, but they're all connected to Makey-Makeys, which are ultimately connected to this computer, which is programmed in Scratch. So we have a musical instrument. So, and we've been testing it out on the floor So we've created, since this is a mystery box, we've created songs that they have to try and guess what it is. Now, it's impossible to play a song with just one side of the box. So you can hear the sound playing. Kind of hard to hear it over the sound of the guests, but you can see that we have basically a giant interactive musical instrument. So other ideas that I thought of, if you could have, for example, there's an app that's out there where you can drive a starship, and if you have all the directions on your side, and you have all your buttons, but your instructions come from the other side, you basically have to communicate with the other person providing you directions. And if you really want to shake things up, you can have all four sides and they're giving instructions to one another, and you have to pilot this starship. It's an idea that we have been making, and the best way to do that is just to try it out in Scratch. But I think the idea of having this sort of designed box that you can create various programs as far as a game controller. So you're literally designing to the game controller, which is something it's kind of unusual, but we like unusual. I think it's a fun way to create some inquiry-based projects where you have to try and figure things out and try to understand it without any sort of directions. So it's something that you can test out on the floor. I like the giant sized boxes. They're always fun. Of course, storage is always an issue, but it's just a fun way to have some fun and create these exhibits. So.
Yeah, and it's a silly take on, well, thinking literally about the sides of the box, the four sides of the box. Yeah, it's nice.
I think the favorite thing. I'll see if I can take this to some of the other sides. It's a very very attractive looking box. We have our mathematics, but I think one of the exciting things about this is that everybody's dying to know what's inside the box. Not to steal from the movie Seven, but this is a really exciting way just to get people excited about this mystery box. It's mystery in what they can do, but I think the real mystery is in what sorts of things you can actually put inside the box that get people excited about as far as making something like this. And with the kids, if we have kids that are building this, then they'll have that added fun of being able to show, look at all the work that I did, because there's a tremendous amount of wiring and programming that's involved. And so we'll see how this goes. This is a relatively new concept based on the fact that sometimes, somebody mentioned that people just like to press buttons in exhibits. Well, we made something that's all about button pressing.
It's a nice combination of high and low tech, and related to some things that Monica showed us too with the robot petting zoo. But in this case, I love that you're trying out making as a way of interacting with the box. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for visiting us here in Idea Zone.
Okay.